Japan is an economic powerhouse, but beneath the surface, the country is in decline. Birth rates have fallen below 70,000, rural communities are fading, and political corruption runs deep. The ruling party's latest money scandal has crushed its approval rating, yet the opposition is too weak to challenge them. The result? More stagnation, fewer solutions, and a slow-motion collapse. But maybe change isn't as complicated as it seems. As a matter of fact, one politician believes Japan can be fixed with just 4 steps. In this video, we'll break down the 5 W's and 1 H of Shinji Ishimaru's new political party, and whether his vision could actually change Japan. Shinji Ishimaru graduated from the Faculty of Economics at Kyoto University in 2006. After graduation, he joined MUFG Bank, one of Japan's 3 largest banks. In 2014, he transferred to New York City, working as a foreign exchange analyst. But his career took a dramatic turn in 2020. From August 2020 to May 2024, Ishimaru served as mayor of Akitakata City, Hiroshima, his hometown. Here's where things get interesting. His predecessor lasted only 3 months before resigning in a corruption scandal. The former mayor admitted to receiving money from the former Minister of Justice, violating Japan's public office election law. Ishimaru, however, was different. He gained national attention for publicly calling out a city council member for sleeping during a meeting. That lawmaker later revealed that he had sleep apnea syndrome, but the controversy didn't end there. Across Japan, many local politicians have been caught sleeping or browsing the internet during council sessions, fueling a broader debate on political accountability. That's when Ishimaru's words, Hajiyoshire, resonated with frustrated voters. As his first term ended, Ishimaru set his sights on Tokyo. He ran for governor in the 2024 Tokyo gubernatorial election, challenging the establishment. The media framed the race as a battle between Renho and Yuriko Koike. Ishimaru defied expectations and secured second place, catching political analysts off guard. Since then, he's become a national sensation. But instead of launching a national party, he's doing something unexpected, creating a regional party in Tokyo. So what's the plan? Ishimaru wants to get more people involved in politics and strengthen local government, starting with Tokyo. During the 2024 election, he campaigned on destroying the Seijiya, career politicians who put themselves first instead of the people. Now, his regional party is taking aim at the same broken system. But skeptics have a question. Why focus on Tokyo instead of taking the fight to the national level? Ishimaru has 2 key reasons. Number 1, creating a new national party is too slow. Challenging the LDP at the national level takes decades. Number 2, Tokyo is the most powerful region in Japan, and controlling it could force a national change. Let me explain. Japan's national elections follow a parliamentary system, meaning that citizens cannot directly vote for the prime minister. But Tokyo's gubernatorial election uses a first-past-the-post system. Voters directly choose their leader. In other words, winning Tokyo means real, immediate political power, and Tokyo is no ordinary city. With 14 million residents, it's the richest city in the world. Its economy makes up 20% of Japan's GDP. If Tokyo were a country, it would rank 17th place in the world, just behind Indonesia and Turkey. Control Tokyo, and you can influence national politics. But here's where things get really bizarre. Ishimaru's regional party has no policy agenda. Yes, you heard that right. He's not running on policies. He's running on people. His argument is simple. Local government should be run by competent individuals, not career politicians clinging to ideology. Most national parties in Japan already agree on key regional policies, especially on social welfare. And regional parties mainly focus on social welfare policies rather than national issues like security. So if everyone agrees, why choose politicians based on ideology? Ishimaru believes ideologies matter at the national level, but local governments should focus on real solutions. So instead of focusing on ideology, he focuses on recruiting the most capable people. During the Q&A of his press conference, he mentioned he's particularly interested in candidates with economic expertise, but he wants a well-rounded team. And here's another wild twist. Politicians from other parties can join his party without leaving their own. That means a member of the LDP can also be a member of Ishimaru's party, Path to Rebirth. This is unheard of in Japanese politics. If Path to Rebirth isn't a traditional political party, why would anyone join? From what I understand, his party acts like a personal campaign manager, offering candidates direct support and strategic guidance. Many aspiring politicians would want to tap into Ishimaru's expertise. The new party will help candidates spread their message, provide guidance on political campaigns and legal paperwork, and support politicians even after they leave office. This last point is crucial. One of the biggest reasons people don't run for office is fear about their career after politics. Ishimaru wants to change that. But there is one major rule. Party members can only serve 2 4-year terms. After that, they cannot run for re-election in the Tokyo Assembly. Ishimaru hopes that these politicians will continue their career elsewhere, helping to revitalize Japan from Tokyo outward. Since he can't legally enforce this rule, he's relying on voters to hold politicians accountable. Ishimaru's plan is bold, unconventional, and unlike anything Japan has seen before. Here's what he's doing next. He's recruiting candidates in all 42 Tokyo districts. In multi-member districts, he may field 2 candidates. Candidates must run in districts where they live or work, keeping the party truly regional. He's prioritizing experienced candidates, current lawmakers, village heads, and experts in their fields. And here's the wildest part. Ishimaru is making the entire candidate selection process public. Application opened from January 15th to February 16th, 2025. Step 1. Document and resume submission. Candidates submit applications online. Step 2. A standardized test. Yes, there's a basic test to assess political and policy knowledge. Step 3. A 15-minute public presentation and interview. All presentations and interviews will be posted on YouTube. This is brilliant. By making these interviews public, Ishimaru is giving a candidate early exposure, helping them build a support base before the campaign even starts. It's basically a political reality show. And whether you love or hate Ishimaru, you have to admit, this is a genius YouTube strategy. So what is Ishimaru's ultimate goal? From what I understand, it boils down to 3 things. Number 1. Make politics more accessible. Right now, if you want to run for office in Japan, you almost have to join a major party. And that means agreeing to their ideology, their agenda, and their way of doing things. That's a huge barrier to entry. It filters out people who might actually be good at governing but don't want to play by the party rules. Ishimaru wants to change that. By not enforcing a strict party agenda and helping politicians transition in and out of office, his goal is to make running for office as accessible as a career change. Number 2. Increase the quality of politicians. In Japan, once you get elected under a big party, it's easy to go on autopilot. You approve the budgets, nod along in meetings, and before you know it, you're just another Seijiya. Ishimaru's solution? Recruit competent people. No ideological bindings, no party loyalty tests. Just people who know how to get things done. The idea is that if you put enough capable politicians in office, they'll shift the culture. Instead of electing people based on ideology, voters might start prioritizing competence. That's how you start changing Japan. And most importantly, number 3, strengthen regional politics. Japan's local governments are struggling. Politicians aren't debating budgets, rural areas are declining, and most importantly, there's a shortage of strong leaders. Ishimaru's plan is to fix this from the top down. Train capable politicians in Tokyo, the richest city in the world, for 8 years. Then, when their time is up, send them out to rural areas where they can use that experience to revitalize the country from the ground up. This, in his eyes, is Japan's path to rebirth. So to organize all this into 4 steps, Step 1. Decrease the barrier of entry. Step 2. Gather competent candidates over ideologically driven candidates. Step 3. Let the new competent politicians gain experience in Tokyo. And Step 4. Have those politicians move out of Tokyo to revitalize rural Japan. And that's why his 4-step plan is catching people's attention. Because whether or not you agree with him, this is something new. But of course, there are plenty of critics. Can a political party without a clear agenda actually survive? How do you enforce a 2-term limit when it's just a non-binding promise? Does dual-party membership open the door for political opportunism? And is starting from a regional level really the best way to change national politics? But for Ishimaru, the answer is simple. His goal isn't to push a particular ideology, but to get the right people into office. People who are capable of making change. It's simple, bold, and totally untested. And that's exactly why people are watching. As I started watching his press conference, I'll be honest, I was a bit disappointed. I was hoping for a political party that had bold policies, not just one that acted like an agency. But then, after listening to 8 hours plus of Ishimaru's philosophy and ideas on YouTube, I think I finally get what he's trying to do. Simply proposing policies and creating a national party won't guarantee real change. The only way to really change Japanese politics is to change the system itself. But that's something only insiders can do. Outsiders cannot make that kind of shift. That's where Ishimaru comes in. He's creating a political party focused on the same goal: change the system, not just the policies. By spreading capable, knowledgeable leaders across Japan, he's creating a grassroots movement that doesn't depend on national politics. In fact, depending on the results this summer, his party could force national politics to adapt to this new wave of first-generation politicians. Ishimaru's populism isn't your typical liberal or conservative style. It's destructive. But it's not destruction for the sake of chaos. It's destruction to tear down the old system and build something new for Japan's future. This strategy is actually pretty similar to what happened in Tokyo. In 2016, Yuriko Koike founded her party, Tokyo First no Kai, and by 2017, it became the largest party in the Tokyo Metropolitan Assembly. If she could pull it off, maybe Ishimaru can too. But I have two major concerns. The first is the quality of candidates. If these new politicians don't actually leave Tokyo and take their experience to rural areas, Ishimaru's plan won't succeed. This could also create a new generation of power-hungry politicians. Or worse, turn them into seijiyas. The second concern is the timing. When Kishida was Prime Minister, he said 2030 would be Japan's last chance to fix its population crisis, the key issue for Japan's future. Given that Ishimaru's plan could take 8 years or more to bear fruit, time is of the essence. That's why Ishimaru's return to Japanese politics as governor of Tokyo in 2028 feels inevitable. What do you think about Shinji Ishimaru's plan? Could his 4-step plan actually be Japan's path to rebirth, or is it just wishful thinking? I would love to hear your thoughts on this revolutionary idea. If you learned something new from this video, give it a like, share if you think this plan could actually change Japan, and subscribe to learn more about Japanese politics.